Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm going to be doing another tea leaf fortune card reading today that I promised to do for Shelley. And I've brought in my Friday bag, which is all about Taurus, influenced by Venus. And the influencing metal is copper. So I have that here on the table, some copper, colored things, a few little things that I put in the pouch for the tapping into the energy of Taurus. I did use some rose oil, and I did actually use the candle for a Friday dressed with herbs. And the herbs that were indicated in here are not on the bottle though. So if you need that information, you just let me know. But definitely rose oil. And Taurus is all about tapping into love, beauty, comfort, luxury, and security. And I would very much like to bring some of that forward into the reading for Shelley. The Empress is represented for me on a Friday, which is love and bounty. I also brought in Kuan Yin. Now, Kuan Yin is a great protector of women, and Shelley has an awful lot going on for her at this time. We're going to say that this reading is for the month ahead. I have my cards that I've prepared. I used the singing bowl to clear everything from the last reading and a bell. And I brought in the large conch shell because Shelley's one of those people that I think a lot of people go to and share things with, very much like the Pope for Friday and Taurus influence. She's not a Taurus, no, but right now I'm tapping into that energy for this reading. And the shell gave me the idea of, when you listen to it, and I think as I was trying to explain, Shelley is someone that everybody comes to, and she has a big heart, and she listens. The other thing I brought in today was my charms, my everyday charms. So I'm going to do the same pyramid that I did for Marilyn a few days ago, but this time I'm going to bring in some charms. And when we get to that stage, I will need a little crystal ball to drop it on. So I'll pause the camera there and grab one. Now, I hope that this goes really well, and Shelley, this is for you. So let's open up the cards. And I'll tip this down a little bit. And in here are all the 200 cards. And we're just going to find the section and the cards that I can grab. I think there's some there, but I want a few more. Sorry about jarring the camera there. All right, and I think 2. Okay, now I get the feeling with this set of cards that I just need to shuffle them a little bit and get them in order for her energy. So we're asking for the blessings of her guides and guardians that have been brought in, the blessings of Kuan Yin, who has women in her heart. She's there for comforting women in all avenues, and I think that's done. Okay, so I'm going to lay out the pyramid, and then we're going to begin. So I think I have to tip a little bit more. There we go. We get the 4 on the bottom as they come out. Okay, we got a scoot. Good. Do our 3. We're do our 2 and our 1. And we are going to set the rest to the side for later. All right, what have we got here? Angel. Spiritual guidance and protection from harm. Well, that's a pretty nice way to start, Shelley, to have some guiding force surrounding you. And having talked to Shelley, I know that she does believe in the magic of energy and the workings of ancestors, and she has experienced some of that. And this one just confirms to me the things that we were just talking about, that she does have ancestors around her. She does have, for instance, angelic help. There is someone that is close to her at this time. And we'll have to see how this is going to influence. It does say guidance. So I guess it would be trusting those intuitive instincts. If she can get her mind to quiet, I know she has an awful lot going on in her mind right now, but to listen and use that intuition to move forward this month and trust it. Okay. Left to right again. All right, now that is the Tower card pointing right to this angel that tells me that the powers that be have an influence right now. And this one, the Tower says solid foundation, success with efforts. It is tipped, though, a little bit. So anything that she's going through, and when you think of the Tower card in tarot, that really, there's things maybe in the month that happen that sort of pull the rug out from under us. And they challenge us, but it just means that there is something in the works here, even though things might change, and they might change suddenly, and it might be disruptive. To just hang on, because we can't always see the bigger picture. And the Tower is definitely a difficult card. So things may not be quite solid as if the card was up like this. But it does say that there is an indication that you will get through it. It won't be without the help of higher powers. Let's just say that. Okay, the next one. Caterpillar. Now this one came up from Marilyn as well. So the caterpillar, if you can read that there, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. And that's what the Tower said, a change is coming. And I always think of the caterpillar as something that is transforming. So there's a lot going on in your month ahead, Shelley. We'll say this is for August, but it could be happening in the next few days because I'm on the tail end of July right now. So from now to the tail end of August, you do have some transformative things happening. And I think it'll be a busy month because when I said to Marilyn was, caterpillars have all these little legs. And it says movement. This caterpillar is facing this way with another card following it. So let's see where the movement, where the transformation is. Left to right. Okay. This one is upside down. So we'll turn it this way so you can see it. Obstacles to overcome. Well, in one way, she is facing a lot of obstacles this month, but I tend to look at this one being reversed as things getting better. If that's your obstacles, you've got hills, you turn it upside down, you find a way around those obstacles. And especially with the caterpillar there, the ability to transform obstacles, to look at them as something we have to go through for whatever reason, probably lessons we have to learn about ourselves and others, and to just hang on. Things will transform, and some of these obstacles can be removed. Might take a little bit of legwork and time, because a caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly instantly. So some of these transformations will take time. But there is also that thing that some metaphysical people use, in that when we get into situations that are difficult and we've done everything that we can, it's like hand it over to the higher powers and say, I've done everything I can. It's now in yours. I trust that you will make things work out best for myself and everyone. All right, so let's look above here. And so, bringing that one forward, work, achievement, and success. And when you think of ants, I just saw this the other day on a walk. They had their prey, but it wasn't one ant pulling it, it was two. So this is the idea for me of you're working along with someone else. You're partnering with someone else. You're sharing the workload with someone else. And that could be her husband, that he can be that support system. But also, because it's above the angel, that, you know, we see one card here, but I did call in your ancestors and your guides and those that keep you in the light, because we need multiple hands for the month ahead and some of the issues that are going on. Now, in the heart of the matter, the stork is talking to the ant here. Let's just see. News of a birth or a new business opportunity. So, when I think of the stork too, from Lenormand work, and I bring tarot and Lenormand into my readings, no matter what I'm doing, if there's images and symbols. So the stork for me is all about shifts and movements. They do migrate, they come back. And children can do that. They can migrate and come back. And the home is there for comfort. And they're after that mothering. And mother is there to give them that safe environment and then send them on their ways. But this one does say there's news of a birth. Now that could be news of something developing. And something that she's been working on, it says she will have some achievements and success. So news of those achievements next month will start to show up. And there is an opportunity. If it's not business, it could be business and partnering with someone else to make it all happen. But it could be the business of life and looking for those opportunities to lend a hand and make things work. All right, so let's turn this one. This one is upside down, and I think it's talking to this one. So we'll turn this around. Misunderstandings. Well, if it's upside down, then I would say that those misunderstandings are cleared. Fabulous. So things will not always be this way, because the obstacles will clear this month and some of the misunderstandings will clear. If there's things that you just don't have enough information on, I think that's going to be clearing. You'll get an understanding, and you'll get some of those aha moments that we have with the Tower. And some of those things that we say, well, you know, I wanted it this way, but I'm certainly glad it went this way. That's some of the aha of the Tower. And that's some of the intervention of ancestors and things. We don't know where things are going, but this Tower is definitely pointing towards the future. So things will be more, as it says, solid. We'll be able to rectify that. And there will be successes. So count your blessings. All right, then we go to this one. Bag. Something important, such as a new job or a raise. Well, Shelley, you might be working on something here, because it does say business opportunity at the heart of the spread. Maybe it's indicating that the chaos is around you, but focus on something that you're trying to grow. If it is something with your business, focus on that and your work achievement that you can gain. But this one being upside down, there might be something that you're working on and you thought you had it in the bag, but it might sort of slip away. And you might have been working on a couple of things, but the bag is upside down. And if that's sometimes the case, if the ribbon isn't tight enough, things fall out. So it might be letting go of some things that you are working on because it's just not going to flow for you. But you do have some successes. So count those. Not everything works out. All right, we'll go this way. Tree. Well, you got a lot of cards upside down, girl. But some of them, as you can see, are working in your favor. All right. Tree. Affairs with your family. That's upside down. And so, excuse me, when I think of the tree, I think of growth. I think of stability. I think of longevity. And this one being upside down, there is upsets in the family during the next month. Things may not seem that secure. The tree can also represent knowledge, so you may not have all the facts. And because the tree's upside down, I would say that sometimes during the month you feel a little bit less than stable, that your roots or the family roots aren't giving stability. And that's where maybe letting things work out the way they need to work out and concentrating on your home, things that you can control, your business, and opportunities. It's a little bit of a diversion, I guess, as you're letting things like misunderstandings clear and obstacles overcome. And if I go back to this one, you can see with the wall, and we do sometimes put walls up, and there is privacy between people in families. But this wall is there for protection. For some reason, maybe you're not meant to know everything at this time. And it might create more misunderstandings if you did know everything. But with the wall there, upside down, it can be removing barriers. And that can be through conversations, but that can lead to that little bit of insecurity of not knowing how to proceed. Okay, and the last card here, pin. Boy, there's a lot around new job or career. Now, because it's next to family upside down, there might be somebody who's moving and thinking about taking a new job. I was concentrating on you, Shelley, here, but it could be a family member. But because the bag is here upside down, there may be a new job or a raise for someone that someone in the family is considering, but I'm not sure if that's going to be everything they hope for. All right, so we're going to put a pause button here so I can get a ball to drop some charms on. Now, I've never done it before without my charm board, but I thought, let's give it a whirl. So I've got the charms here, and it'll be a little bit noisy. We'll just drop them and see what turns up, and if any connect, or if they talk a little bit more about the cards. It's all for fun. Okay. And for facts, we want information for Shelley for the month ahead. Okay, I got quite a little handful here. So we're going to go. All right. So I'm going here visually first. And this new job or career card, now let's just pause again and see if I can get a better look for everybody. Now I may have to move it again later, but there's a ring here. And rings are commitments and promises. And that is, to me, a topaz stone. And I always bring that, if you can see the little, there it is there. I think of fall for that. So there may be a new job or career in the fall. But this card always gives me a little bit of grief because a pin can mean sewing things up, final stitches. A pillow is comfort. But a pin can also be hurting if it pricks your finger or whatever. So this new job or career, I don't know, may not be perfect. You might have to stitch things up a little bit and finalize it, whoever that's connected to, but it's right here near the family card. And I think it might happen in the fall. So if there's something that you're working on yourself, Shelley, it might come together in the fall. And it might be a new avenue to that craft business that you have going. That's kind of neat. Over here, this is the typewriter upside down. And to me, that's lack of communication or somebody's not talking. And that's on the card that said something important, such as a new job or career. So maybe there's a miscommunication with this job or career. Maybe the finalization or the paperwork and how to work it all out is stalled for a bit. And this one here, what is this? It's certainly tarnished. Okay, well, it looks like a bird, but it also, oh, it's a skeleton. It's the skeleton of like the death card, but I'm going to have to polish that one up. You see, just see it there a little bit. So that was over here. With this new job, you've got the death card there. So I think that something is not going to complete. There might be lack of communication, or you stop the communication. You might have been working on something and sending some letters out. They either don't get there or you just decide, no, I'm going to let that go. And especially with the bag upside down. And the bag on the table can sometimes mean like money. So you're holding on to it instead of giving out. Interesting. Now I could go all kinds of ways with these when I start to look at them. Something important, such as a new job. But this is next to the family card here. Yeah, it may not benefit the family. There may be family disruptions around that. Okay, now we're over here with a bird. And that bird is upside down. So on top of the ant card, where there's work, achievement, and success, and that help, it might come in the form of non-communicative help. It's just someone who just lends a hand because they are there or they can. You may not even have to ask for help this month. It just might happen. And it's that type of person that when you're working with them, you don't really have to talk too much. You're just around each other. But again, with the stork and the tree, there's a lot of family matters going on still. And there might be things that you just can't say, that maybe you need to hold back on. Don't say. Ooh, interesting. This one over here is the letter W, so it might, I don't know everyone that Shelley's connected to, but if W comes to mind, let me know. It could be a first name, it could be a last name. Okay, but I'm also getting W might be a woman. So there may be a woman that you're working with, but maybe hold back. Don't say everything that's on your mind. You are that stork, that motherly person, and you want to jump in, but Shelley, maybe you just shouldn't say anything right now if it is connected to a W or a woman. Okay. Now over here on this side, nothing. Down below by the caterpillar there is. Okay, so on the caterpillar, the little not a hummingbird, dragonfly. Dragonfly is upside down. So when the dragonfly is buzzing around, there's a lot of activity, but with it upside down, it's stalled. And so this is the caterpillar that we were hoping that would bring all kinds of good change, but it's going to take more time than just this next month. It stalls a little bit. And a dragonfly to me is always seeing things from a higher perspective. And that sort of works with what we had here in that you're not seeing the bigger picture. Things are still developing this month. So it will be a challenging month. Now I want to pull 3 cards for the middle for final words from guides and guardians. So let's get that down. Okay. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Well, yeah. That's why we brought Kuan Yin in, and I know that she is emotionally attached to those in her family. So when you've got the nest there, there's that want to protect everything and that growth, and it sits right there by the upside down tree. So I would say with this upside down, there may be a few eggs in your nest that are leaving. Some of the family members will be more on the outskirts. They won't be coming in for that mothering, nurturing that you have to offer right there. Maybe they need their own space too. Okay. Lobster. You might find, excuse me again, if it's connected to business or if it's connected to family, there might be some financial pinches. That's all I got on that one, the lobster. And because of the coloring, you might have a little bit of a flare-up over it, a little bit of anger, because when you see red or pink like that, pink would be better, but red maybe not. Depends if your lobster's cooked. Anyway, let's just say that there's a bit of a financial pinch with the family and the loving family. So it might be how much you have to share. Not sure about that one just yet. We'll go here. Dog close up. So, pleasure with a close friend. Nice. So, this one talks about, there's lots of issues we've discussed already going on in your month. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just chill out with a close friend? Know that they're thinking of you because the head of the dog is turning this way. They understand maybe what you're going through. And maybe it's not a financial pinch. It's that feeling that life is getting a little bit tricky. And with the claws, you might want to reach out and just, but trust a friend, be friendly, and find someone to share some time with that brings a little bit of happiness and pleasure. And that goes along with the ant one here, where I said there's a pairing up. And it's sometimes because with that bird upside down, it doesn't have to always be chatter. It's that type of friend that you can spend some time with. Could be a family member, could be a friend outside the family, but they're the type of person that you can share time with and you don't really have to do a lot of talking. Just being there and knowing that they're there for you is helpful. So Shelley, I hope that helps somewhat. You do have a difficult month, yes, and there may be some things happening in the family, but you've got angelic help here. You've got a solid foundation being influenced by this. I would call that ancestors, guides, and guardians. You've got some work to do, yes, some groundwork, because this dragonfly is not in the air. So there's a lot of groundwork to be doing. But obstacles can disappear. Okay? Lots of love. I think this is something you're going to have to sit with for a bit. And I hope that you work things out and that you find comfort and that you can find this person and this space that you can just chill out and get away from any of the issues that are bothering you. Okay? Lots of love and lots of hugs.